Okay, now that we have our density function table, we're going to need to make a histogram. So to do that, you're going to highlight the frequency column. Now make sure that you just highlight the numbers and not the word frequency. Okay, so highlight that frequency column, and go to Insert, the Insert tab up here, and go over to this column chart. Click on that, and 2D, very first one. Okay, and so here's my basic histogram. You can already kind of see it has a nice normal shape to it. Here's most of the data in the middle, and it kind of curves like that. Alright, so now that I have this, we are going to need to fix it. Okay, these data labels in the bottom say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They should say 55 to 59 and so forth. Okay, so if you can go to one of these numbers, like 2, and right click on it, go to Select Data. Okay, so just to show you that again, I right clicked on a number, went to Select Data. From here, I want to edit my horizontal category axis labels. Right now, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit Edit, and then select the height in inches. Okay, when you do that, you can see down here that they already went ahead and changed that for us. That looks a lot better than just 1 through 6. So let's hit OK, and OK. All right, so there we go. We fixed the axis. Now let's go ahead and change the title. This would be the men's height distribution. And you can call it whatever you want, just make sure it has something to do with the project. So men's height distribution, and I need to click on it. Let's add plus sign, add some axis titles. Okay, axis title here. Okay, sometimes it's a pain. Click on, there you go. This is the x-axis, so that would be height in inches. And then the y-axis, that is our frequency. Frequency. There you go. Okay, so now I have that label. The last thing I need to do is obviously get rid of the gaps. So right click on a bar, format data series. Gap width should go down to 0. Click on the fill bucket and hit border, solid line. And then I don't want it to be blue, it needs to be black. So I do that, click off here, there you go. Now I have a nice histogram to go with my data table. Now when you do this, you're going to have 3 of these. 3 density function tables, 1 for male, 1 for female, and 1 for all, and 3 histograms. So what I would do is put them neatly next to each other. Okay, so here I have the male data in the male histogram. I put female data here, female histogram here. So line them up so that they look nice. Alright, another thing I want you to do is let's find the mean and standard deviation. So I want to know what the mean is, and I want standard deviation. Let's go ahead and list those right here on the chart. So let's go ahead and make that bold. Bold. Remember, for mean, that equals average. Then you just have to highlight your data. Let's find the average of all this. Okay, this goes down quite a bit. Okay. And there we go. Average is 71.76. Let's do 2 decimal places. Oops, that's the wrong way. Remember, click on that increase, decrease decimal. Now, 71, 76, that makes sense. Here's 70 to 74. That's the highest category. 71 and 76 is kind of right in the middle there. So it makes sense that our mean's right there. You couldn't tell that from the histogram, but using Excel, we got that. Okay, let's do standard deviation. So E equals STDEV. Highlight the same numbers. There you go. Standard deviation is 4.6. Now, if you remember, for men, It was supposed to be 5. So we're pretty close. Now, you're going to need these numbers right here when you start doing your z-scores. If you look at the actual assignment, I believe there is a first question. I'll slide this over here. It says, pick one man and one woman from your 10 data points, calculate their z-score, and write a sentence about what the z-score means. Okay, so obviously for the men and the women, you need a mean and a standard deviation. Okay, this is going to be the mean and standard deviation that you use for men, and then you'll get one for women and use that. Okay, so don't use 70 and 5. Use whatever you guys end up getting right here. And that'll be different than this because you'll have more data. So make sure you do histogram or density function table, histogram, and mean and standard deviation. Do that for each column. One for male, one for female, one for all, and you're good to go.